Died Grandpa. 5 friends went on a summer vacation to the eastern United States, excited to escape routine. For 3 days, everything felt perfect. Late nights, drinking, laughter, and exploring new places. On the 3rd day, they visited an abandoned Civil War-era fort deep in the Appalachian Mountain. They stayed too long, and by the time they left, night had fallen. Unable to reach their hotel, they rented a small lodge along a remote forest road. The place was old, surrounded by trees, and completely silent. They took a first-floor room, played music, danced, and drank. Around 2 or 3 in the morning, they heard a knock at the door. Still half drunk, they opened it. An elderly man stood there, pale and expressionless, calmly telling them it was late and they should sleep. They agreed and closed the door. Moments later, one friend noticed a framed photo on the wall. It was the same old man. Terrified, they turned everything off and stayed awake until morning. In daylight, they realized the door they opened was a balcony door overlooking the forest, with no path or stairs. Later, locals told them the man in the photo was the lodge's caretaker who had died 2 days earlier. Nothing else happened, but one thought never left them. Someone knocked on their door from a place no living person could have stood. Humans can lick too. Late at night, a girl lay awake in her bed, staring into the darkness while a slow, steady dripping sound echoed from the bathroom. Her parents were out of town, leaving her alone in the house, and the silence felt heavier because of it. Fear kept her frozen under the blanket. The only thing she wasn't alone with was her dog, sleeping near the bed. Whenever panic crept in, she lowered her hand toward the floor, and a gentle lick touched her fingers. That familiar feeling calmed her, convincing her that she was safe. The sound continued through the night, growing louder at times, then fading again. With no parents in the house and nowhere to run, the fear felt stronger. Each time the sound returned, the girl repeated the same small movement, trusting the comforting lick to protect her from whatever might be wrong. Exhaustion finally pulled her into an uneasy sleep, and the night passed in silence. When morning came, she forced herself to check the bathroom. The moment she stepped inside, her blood ran cold. Her dog was dead, hanging in the shower, and blood was dripping onto the floor. The same sound she had heard all night. Slowly, she lifted her eyes to the mirror. Written across it in blood were the words, "Humans can lick too." The killer in the backseat. Late at night, a woman finished shopping and began the long drive home. The roads were nearly empty, and the glow of streetlights faded as she moved farther away from the city. As she drove, she noticed a car behind her, flashing its headlights. At first, she felt annoyed, then uneasy. The car stayed close, flashing again and again, no matter how fast she went. Her fear grew as the driver continued following her. She locked her doors, gripping the steering wheel, convinced she was being targeted. Each time she glanced in the rearview mirror, the headlights flared, blinding her vision. Panicking, she pulled over near a busy gas station and jumped out of the car, screaming for help. The driver behind her rushed forward, not angry but terrified. He shouted at her to get away from the car. That's when she learned the truth. Every time she slowed down, he had seen a man rise up from her back seat, only to duck back down when the lights flashed. The headlights weren't meant to scare her, they were meant to scare him. Police later found the man hiding in the back seat, armed and waiting. This urban legend is terrifying because the danger isn't following from behind. It's already inside, hidden just out of sight. The Funhouse Corpse. A group of friends entered a traveling funhouse at a small carnival. Inside, flashing lights, loud music, and twisted mirrors surrounded them. Every corner was filled with creepy props meant to scare people. Fake skeletons, hanging bodies, and lifeless mannequins. As they moved through the narrow hallway, one figure caught their attention. A body hanging from the ceiling, swaying slightly in the dim light. They stopped to look at it, laughing nervously at how realistic it seemed. The face looked pale, the clothes were worn, and the feet hung just above the floor. One of them even joked that the carnival had gone too far this time. Still, none of them questioned it. In a place designed to look terrifying, it was easy to assume everything was fake. After a moment, they moved on, leaving the hanging figure behind. Hours later, police arrived at the fun house after a missing person was reported. When the lights were fully turned on and the ride was shut down, the truth was revealed. The hanging figure was not a prop. It was a real human body, placed there deliberately to blend in with the decoration. Dozens of people had walked past it, stared at it, even laughed at it, without realizing what they were seeing. The Bunny Man. Late at night, a newly married couple went for a quiet drive outside the city, taking a lonely road that passed through a forest near an old bridge. The area was silent with no other cars around. They parked for a while, enjoying the calm, unaware of the place's dark reputation. Suddenly, something struck the side of their car. Startled, they looked ahead and noticed a white shape near the road. At first, it looked like a rabbit, small, still almost harmless, standing just beyond the headlights. But as it moved closer, they realized the truth. It wasn't an animal. It was a man wearing a dirty, torn bunny costume, staring straight at them. As the figure stepped closer, panic took over. The couple started the car and sped away without looking back. Later, they learned this wasn't an isolated incident. After that night, many similar reports came in. Drivers claimed to see the same bunny-costumed man near the bridge late at night. Some said he threw objects at cars. Others heard scratching sounds when they stopped nearby. police were never able to catch anyone. Some believed the bunny man was an escaped mental patient, while others thought he was hiding in the forest. Over time, locals began avoiding the bridge after dark. Even today, people warn that if you stop there too long at night, you might see a silent figure standing just beyond your headlights. The Hookman. Late one night, a young couple parked their car on a quiet, isolated road. The radio played softly as they talked, enjoying the privacy of being far from the city. Suddenly, a news bulletin interrupted the music, warning listeners about an escaped killer in the area, a man with a hook instead of a hand. Uneasy laughter filled the car, but the tension lingered in the silence that followed. Moments later, strange noises came from outside. A scraping sound brushed against the side of the car. The couple froze, listening. The sound returned, slower this time, dragging along the metal. Panic set in. The driver started the engine, and they sped away without looking back, hearts pounding as the road disappeared beneath them. When they finally stopped in a safe, well-lit area, the couple stepped out of the car, still shaken. That's when they saw it. Hanging from the door handle was a bloodied metal hook, swaying gently in the night air. This urban legend is terrifying because the danger never fully reveals itself. The Hookman is always just out of sight, close enough to touch the car, close enough to leave proof behind. It feeds on the fear of isolation and leaves one chilling message. Sometimes escaping doesn't mean you were never caught. The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs. Late one evening, a young babysitter arrived at a large house to watch two children while their parents went out for the night. After putting the kids to bed upstairs, she settled downstairs with the lights low and the television on, enjoying the quiet. The house felt empty, but she told herself there was nothing to be afraid of. Sometime later, the phone rang. When she answered, there was only heavy breathing on the other end. She hung up, uneasy, and tried to ignore it. Minutes passed, then the phone rang again. This time, a man's voice whispered, asking if she had checked on the children. Her hands shook as she slammed the phone down and locked the door. The calls kept coming, each one closer together, each voice calmer and more threatening. Terrified, the babysitter finally called the police. They told her to stay on the line while they traced the call. After a moment of silence, the operator's voice returned, urgent and shaken. The calls were coming from inside the house. The babysitter was told to leave immediately. When police arrived, they found the man upstairs, hiding near the children's rooms, waiting. This urban legend is terrifying because the threat isn't outside, knocking to get in. It's already inside, watching, listening, and waiting for the right moment. The Melon Heads. Late at night, drivers on isolated wooded roads in parts of Ohio, Michigan, and Connecticut report seeing strange figures near the tree line. At first, they look like children standing silently in the dark. But when headlights hit them, something feels wrong. Their bodies are thin and fragile, while their heads are far too large, round and swollen like melons. These beings are known in local legend as the Melon Heads. They are said to live deep in forests, abandoned tunnels, or hidden caves, avoiding daylight and watching from the shadows. Witnesses describe their movements as unnatural, slow at first, then sudden. Some claim their eyes briefly glow when caught in the light before they disappear into the trees. There are many stories about their origin. Some believe they were once children kept in a secret medical facility where cruel experiments caused their heads to grow abnormal. Others say they were abandoned long ago and survived in isolation, slowly becoming something inhuman. Whatever the truth, the legends agree on one thing: they never left the woods. People who claim to have encountered the Melon Heads say they don't attack immediately. Instead, they watch. Drivers report soft tapping on car doors or small figures moving just outside the headlights. Those who step out to look closer often say the forest suddenly goes silent. Then the figures vanish. I hope this legend creeped you out. Let me know in the comments, which of these legends do you think is the creepiest? Rank them your way. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe.